How you doing? And happy Thanksgiving. And this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. And today I'm going to comment on Area 51 drone and his false assumptions and the evil network that wasn't. First of all, on drone. Area 51 drone is not authorized to post comments for me. He knows nothing of my current finances, and his recent comments about my finances are totally false. And this is yet another reason why, once again, I've had to stop contacting the man. He's published too much personal information about me that was supposed to be private. I was humiliated by it and mortified, and still am. And now his latest revelation that he said that I received money from the Circle of Trust and they're supporting me financially. That is totally false. I received 2 checks from Justin and a $25 donation to my PayPal account to attend AlienCon. And I think I may have gotten one other small donation for that. I don't remember. But since AlienCon, no one has sent me a dime, even though I've been financially starving and almost literally starving. Not with my gut, but with no food to eat. Including nights here where I've eaten bread for dinner. So, drone, I no longer talk to him. I told him off, and I'm tired of his crap. Okay, now, there's been discussion on Sewer Gab about the network. Well, this was a giant con. It wasted so much of my time, and I have to comment on it. About a month and a half ago, I started getting emails from a supposed network that wanted to have me on as a podcast host. Now, everybody out there knows I want to do podcasting with live calls. Of course, any of that would be sabotaged by all the haters and trolls from Sewer Gab and the evil legion of snore that is the Callan Network. And this is also funded by the evil Heather Wade. So I had a supposed president of this network whose photograph was that of an elderly French politician, a supposed wife of the network who took over, wife of the head of the network, that is, who took over after this supposed president got the flu and then a heart attack, a woman who was supposed to be the IT director of this network, who made romantic advances toward me. Another woman who was supposed to be the assistant to the head of the network, who sent me very suggestive supposed pictures of her that were really pictures of a YouTube star, and I'll present those pictures in a moment. Or at least one of them. And the daughter of the supposed head of the network, who sent me a picture of her with Hello Kitty on her body. Well, in talking to one of the members of the Circle of Trust, he immediately found out, once I showed him this picture, that it was a fraud, and we determined the network was a fraud. They offered me a $2,000 signing bonus, $900 a month, to be their top commenter on their new network that didn't exist. And I had started to question this network because they first said they wanted to meet with me at AlienCon, and then they didn't. And then they were concerned about the Circle of Trust, and one of them, named Alicia, was vetting Belgab, Sewer Gab, and was sending me posts supposedly done by 6-week tenure that apparently were photoshopped. And it got to the point where I went against my friends because the network demanded it. They said, either drop these people, there will be no podcast. And being really broke because I'm paying off Kathy's debts and wanting to do a podcast, I, against my better judgment, and let my temper come to the fore instead of my common sense. So I was really conned by these people. I suspect, and this is a suspicion of others, that it was done by inglorious bitch, grub, and the one that works at the DMV, but I can't prove that. But the parts the women were nice 1 minute, and we are not allowed to talk to you. And the network even said that our employees are no longer able to talk to you. And then suddenly I would get emails from the employees and the daughter and the wife. And when I suggested this is all a con, the head of the network got furious at me and sent me really insulting emails. And then when I asked for proof of the existence of this network, I'd like your address, your phone number, your registration with the county and state for business licenses, I got more insulting emails from the head of the network. And I went to the California Department of Corporations to look up this network. No such network existed. I went to GoDaddy to look up the URL for this network. It's been parked since 2006. And the network was created, or the URL name for the network was created in 1996. So it's not a brand new network as they asserted. After telling that to the female who took over, she said they were domiciled in Arizona as a corporation. So I checked the Arizona corporation records. No such network exists. No such company name exists. And it has never been incorporated in Arizona. So I expected that he meant to get ones that they were incorporated in Nevada or Montana or Delaware or Luxembourg, God knows where. So, and then finally, last week, I get an email from the woman who was flirting with me, actually both women, but had been flirting with me, but I get this email saying that she's coming up with her girlfriends to go to Napa, and I presume it was not the state hospital where my mother had worked as a psychiatric nurse, but the wine area, and she's going to come by for a visit. Well, like so many, like little Chris, Area 51 drone, who said they were going to come by and take me out to dinner and film a week in the life of me, it didn't happen. I sent her an email back saying, I'll believe it when I see it when you knock at my door, but since I don't think you are real, it's not going to happen. And guess what? It didn't happen. So I don't really care what Sewer Gab says about this network. I know there were leaks from somewhere because they had a guy named Inside Man who was telling all about this network or saying there was something big going on. I got conned. I got pranked. Whatever you want to call it. I wanted to do a podcast and do the best job I could. And that's the story of this phony network that never existed. And I don't care what Sewer Gab thinks about it, what Inside Man decides to say about it, or anything else. And by the way, except for some commercials I did on the insistence of the temporary head of the network, the woman, the supposed wife of the head of the network, there are no audio files of that network, to the best of my recollection. But then I keep all the audio files I send in emails. And my emails apparently have been hacked. That was another concern of this phony network. And I'm not sure how to fix that. Now, yesterday I went to a computer store in San Francisco to find out if my devices can be cleaned in February. And what they told me was the standard, well, we'll clean your computer for viruses, and that's not what I needed, so I'm not going to go to them. But I did find out that my computer, the Mac in front of me, that sold for $1,200 new in 2010 is now $799. And they had a 2014, 2015 Mac that was $899. So if I have to replace my iPads and my Mac, the router's sitting up there, open but never turned on, I'll do it. It'll just take time. But I still would like to do a podcast. I'd still like to do call-ins. But the haters like Chefist and Mr. Spock and other people would call in and ruin it unless I had a 7-second delay or could edit it. Now, I don't know how to do that yet, but I will. All right, this is George Senda. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and are safe out there and are happy. And I am, as always, the guy from Pittsburgh. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.